Oh, I guess I should do that. Imagine. What if I just recorded this entire episode without the microphone? You actually probably would still be able to hear me just fine because I'm loud as fuck. Hey there, adventurers. Welcome to Let's Just Go podcast. I'm Kayla, and this week I'm talking about the Anaheim Marriott, which I recently had the opportunity to stay at for the very first time last month. And I wanted to give you a rundown because it is a very popular good neighbor hotel, and I wanted to give you my honest review. So, what's a good neighbor hotel? For those of you who may be new here or don't know what that is, it is a hotel that Disney has given their stamp of approval on. So it's not a hotel that Disney owns or operates, but it is a hotel that Disney has said they meet our standards, we will partner with them, and they can be called a good neighbor hotel. So I have a whole series of good neighbor hotels in Anaheim that I love for the Disneyland Resort. Feel free to listen to the others if you haven't yet. My most recent trip, I decided to do a split stay and stay at two different Marriott properties because I am also a platinum member with Marriott Bonvoy. So I get to have nice extras, and Anaheim Marriott showed out. So go listen to those episodes, take a listen to this one, see what good neighbor hotel sounds like a good fit for you. As a note, if you do want to stay at a good neighbor hotel, you actually are able to book a package directly through Disney that gives you both park tickets and a hotel. And also, if you wanted a rental car, there's some other things you can add in as well. And it's just a $200 deposit for the package with everything due 30 days prior to check-in versus buying those tickets on their own where they're non-refundable. So last episode, we were talking about the Sheraton Park Anaheim. The Anaheim Marriott is about 5 more minutes away. I literally wheeled my luggage from one to the other just through a parking lot and crossing a street. So they're very close to each other. They're both definitely the convention center area. So if you know Anaheim and you know where the convention center is, these are both hotels that are very close. I will say that Anaheim Marriott literally across the street from the convention center. I was going to say you can't get closer, but you can. There's a Hilton that is attached to the convention center. But if you're a Marriott person, this is the closest Marriott to the convention center. So this is a much more business style hotel. It is a lot larger than the Sheraton. Still a good spot, I would say, for families that are going to Disneyland. I do think the Sheraton is a little more family focused than the Marriott is, but not like a big difference. So it's about, I'd say a 25-minute walk to get to the Marriott from Disneyland. I did not film that walk. I just filmed a walk from the Sheraton. And like I said, it's about 5 more minutes to the Marriott. So I would consider that walking distance. Some people may not. They do have access to the same shuttle that the Sheraton has as well. So the Anaheim Rapid Transit recently was discontinued, and that was the shuttle system that could get you from some hotels in Anaheim to the parks. And now a few hotels have been partnering with each other to offer different options, and Marriott and Sheraton both have that shuttle option. Again, we're in the convention center area. We're near the Garden Walk. So if you didn't listen to the last episode, the Garden Walk, well, if you don't listen to the last episode, first of all, what are you doing? Go back, go listen to it. But the Garden Walk is an outdoor shopping area. It's kind of sad, but there are some good restaurants, especially big chain restaurants. So there's Cheesecake Factory and P.F. Chang's and Bubba Gump's. Yeah, there's a lot of touristy big name chains. So if you're wanting to grab something familiar, maybe your kids only like to eat one specific thing. Maybe your husband only likes to eat one specific thing. You can probably find it. So also within the walk from the Marriott to the park, you're going to run into a ton of food. You're going to hit a CVS and a Walgreens, literally across the street from each other. And then across the street from that is a 7-Eleven. And then next door to the 7-Eleven is another little gift shop. So there's tons of places to go grab something to eat. Maybe you forgot something. I forgot a hairbrush on my trip and I was like, oh no. So I went into CVS and bought a hairbrush. So there's lots of things nearby. There's a coffee shop or two. And inside the Marriott itself, there's a bar, a restaurant, like a sit-down table service restaurant. There's a quick service place that also serves Starbucks. There's a FedEx. There's a big gym, like fitness center. There's a partially covered outdoor pool, which I think is really cool. It's essentially got like a wood awning over half of it. And then the other half is exposed, which is really neat. It's a convention center hotel. So like it's very much catering to business people. And there were a lot of conventions happening in the 2 nights that I spent there. There was a turnover of conventions. So it was science teachers, I believe. And then it was cheerleaders. So very different vibes. But I really enjoyed my room. I was in a king room. The room was big. It was really, really spacious. I was surprised. I could have done cartwheels in that room if I wanted to, or could do cartwheels. Your girl can't do a cartwheel, never has been able to. But I really liked the size of the room. The bed was really comfortable. The balcony was weird. So I was on the top floor. And the way that the rooms are laid out on the top floor is that you have a balcony, but it's a big balcony shared with the room next to you. So I didn't love that. I did sit out there a little bit because it was a nice view and, the weather was beautiful in the morning and I wanted to enjoy it. But I was a little apprehensive of like keeping my blinds open and leaving the door open. I didn't want to do any of that because I knew there was someone in the other room because they had their do not disturb sign up. So that was weird, but I was told that that's only the top floor rooms. So any other floor, you're going to be fine. I will also say they have the elevators that I don't like, where you push the button for what floor you're going to, and then it tells you what elevator to get in. I can't stand those kind of elevators. They frustrate me because nobody's paying attention to what they should be doing. And I always feel like they're too fast. Like you hit the button and like it wants you to go the furthest away elevator and then you can't get there before the door closes. But anyways, that's just my issue with the elevators. So this hotel I've since stayed at the LAX Marriott, which had a fantastic concierge lounge. But this hotel did something really interesting that I've never seen before, which is during the weekends, their lounge is closed and instead they give you vouchers for the restaurant. So for breakfast, I went to the buffet. Like I went and was able to access the entire buffet. They had an omelet station. And they could make any kind of eggs you wanted to. They had a waffle station. There was fresh fruit. There was yogurt. There were pastries. There was biscuits and gravy, bacon, sausage. Like there were so many options, and I was very pleasantly surprised by that because I'm a picky eater when it comes to breakfast foods, and it was nice to know that I had options. So that was breakfast, and then instead of having hors d'oeuvres in the afternoon, they gave you a coupon for appetizers at the restaurant. So you could get 2 appetizers per room per night on the weekends. And I was traveling solo, so that meant I had a whole ass meal out of appetizers. The first night I think I did nachos and some shrimp. And I think the second night I did taquitos or like flautas, something along those lines. And I can't remember what the other thing was that I had, but it was a good amount of food. And then I did get to experience the lounge itself because the lounge was still open. You had access to it 24 hours a day. It was a beautiful lounge. It was up on one of the higher floors. It also had an outdoor area on like a patio that you could go out on. And the breakfast there, when it was open, was actually a really good layout of breakfast. The hors d'oeuvres, I don't believe I was there to experience them, but the one difference here is that at the Sheraton, you had fountain soda, so you could just get your cup and refill it. And here they had cans, so you could grab a can of Pepsi. They had some treetop juice. There was milk. So like there was a good variety of beverages that you could grab. There's also, in both places, they had the espresso machines that I don't love, so I don't really use them unless I'm in a pinch. But all in all, it was a nice place. The service was great. The staff was really, really friendly. I really enjoyed my time. And yes, it's 5 minutes further away than the Sheraton, but it felt like a whole different world. Like there wasn't an overwhelming amount of like Disney going on there. It was a lot more convention center. And I do realize that means the crowd varies, obviously, very dramatically, depending on what's going on at the convention center. But it really just gave conference vibes, and not in a bad way. Like I personally appreciate a hotel that has conference vibes because there's less screaming. There's less children running amok. This is going to be a higher priced property than the Sheraton. This is going to be more in that like superior category, not luxury, but just not, it's like your average hotel room, but a little bit nicer. I think that the bed was comfortable. The bathroom was sort of outdated compared to the bathroom that I had at the Sheraton. The Sheraton did feel, though, like it had recently been remodeled versus the Marriott. I really liked the pool area. It was actively being worked on, so it'll be interesting to see what that looks like when it's done. But I like that it's fully enclosed by the building, so you're not having to worry about the pool just being in the middle of a parking lot, because that is the case for a lot of Good Neighbor hotels. And I also liked that it was all interior. You walked into the lobby, you could get everywhere you needed to go without going outside, where at the Sheraton, I did have to go outside to get from the lobby to my room. So I think that if you have a specific trip where you're doing something in the convention center and you're going to Disney, or you are like me and you prefer that more business elevated experience, or you're platinum or above with Bonvoy and you get access to the lounge, I would say that this is absolutely a place to stay. I think that if you're going for something a little more budget conscious and closer to the parks, this is probably not going to be the fit for you. But I really liked it. I would recommend it. I think that it's really hard to know what is going to be the right hotel for you because it's so nuanced. And while this may be the perfect hotel for one group, it may be an awful choice for another. But, let's talk. I can help you figure all of that out. And until next time, let's just go.